As we bring in Darren right now, so the big question, though, for us, as we're kind of keeping an eye on that fire danger, but a lot of people do want to know, this Friday, tomorrow, will we be able to see the fireworks?
Yeah, let's get you ready for that. There's good news in terms of being able to see the fireworks. I'll start there. Here's the detail on where the official forecast for that stands. Maybe a few clouds, but for the most part, not enough to get in the way of the show. Let me say why we would go with a forecast like that. Look at the virtual map. There is a pattern showing up on the clouds out here off of Point Reyes. You're looking at the last 3 hours. So what I want to do is bring this to just the last hour so you can see what that pattern is. Those are wave clouds out there. What's going on out here? Strong winds are pushing the marine layer. You can see how the marine layer's gotten kind of scoured out here. There's a big empty patch. But as those strong winds go over Point Reyes and then they continue to kind of work their way down the coast, they're kind of doing a wave. And where that wave goes up, you get a little cloud and you get a ripple. Where the wave goes down in the atmosphere, the cloud evaporates and you get a blank spot. Gravity waves, really cool to see in the satellite. But why we care about that is because you only get those when there's a strong wind coming down the coast like this and then interacting with Point Reyes out there and starting that whole wavy pattern like that. Why does that matter? Because those strong winds are helping to kind of break up and scour out the marine layer. Now, it's not going away completely. We've still got this big patch here. But as we take this forward, let's play the futurecast forward. You'll see the clouds build back in. We're going to get some of the marine layer tonight. We're going to wake up on our Friday morning, 4th of July, and we will see low clouds hanging out through the immediate bay, like the central bay. I don't anticipate they're going to get all that far inland or spread out all that much more than this. And they're just going to melt back by the time we get into the late morning and early afternoon anyway. And most of the day tomorrow will be sunshine until we get to tomorrow night. And let's take a look at the closest view on that. Here's what the latest high-resolution forecast is going to show us in terms of where the marine layer may actually be when we get to tomorrow night. So keep your eye on the time here. I've taken this all the way ahead to tomorrow afternoon, right? So there's your day with more sunshine on it than anything else. Happy 4th of July. I'll show you the numbers in a second, by the way. It's going to be a relatively cool day for the 4th of July. But I digress. Let's play that forward. Let's get us ahead to 9:30. That's when we're doing the fireworks show here off of Pier 39. We're not really seeing a whole lot here. It'll be a bit cloudy down the peninsula. It'll be a bit cloudy for maybe patchy for the East Bay, but other than that, should be clear not only for the Pier 39 show, but for anywhere. All right, so that's good news on that forecast. Let's take a look at how the day is going to feel. So this is your Friday, 4th of July, and these numbers are well below average for some of these warmer inland spots. You're not going to get out of the mid-70s in the Tri-Valley tomorrow. Look at Concord. Your numbers will also be relatively cool. You're going to stay in the 70s in the Santa Clara Valley. San Francisco will likely stay cool, a bit breezy, not as windy as today. Today was the windier day, if you notice that. Tomorrow won't be as windy. And when you look up in the North Bay valleys, you can see your temperatures are also going to come in a little below average for this time of year. And that is going to be a trend through the weekend. So let's just go to the 7-day forecast. I'll show you what to expect in terms of the weekend. But really, I think what we need to start talking about actually after we talk about the weekend is the second half of next week, because there is a warm-up coming. So the weekend looks great. Here's the forecast for our inland microclimates. Notice we're really not seeing much in the way of clouds here at all. Temperatures will stay in the mid-80s, 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 and then bam, mid-90s by Thursday. So by the middle of next week, starting about Wednesday, temperatures are going to start increasing. And by the end of next week, it's going to start to get kind of hot around here. Nothing crazy. I mean, we really have gotten off easy for so much of, well, for all of June, and at least for maybe the first few days of July. And then the temperature is going to start settling in. By the way, last thing here for the weekend, this is for the Bay. The marine layer is going to build back in again. So even if we don't have a whole lot of it for Friday, Saturday and Sunday we will. It'll start building back in a bit more.